All right, now that the Buffalo Bills season is over, we're going to talk more about the University at Buffalo. They played a back seat throughout this year because the Bills were doing so well. But I got to tell you, they shouldn't be in the background any longer. This Buffalo Bulls team was the best team in program history in large part because of Lance Liepold and his ability to not only develop good players and recognize good players, but to recruit good players. As I stated, UB is coming off the best season in school history since joining the FBS. They were 6-1 this past season. They won another bowl game, their second straight. And they were ranked for the first time in the AP Top 25, and they finished at number 25. The cherry on top of all of this is not just Lance Leipold coming back, even though, at least for now, at the time of this video, even though he has been rumored to be a potential candidate for a lot of Power 5 schools, but they are bringing in their best recruiting class in the history of the University at Buffalo program since joining the FBS. This class is unbelievable, and it is filled with a ton of very, very solid recruits. And in this edition of Nickel City Sports Corner, I'm going to let my buddy Mark tell you a little bit more about some of them.
What's going on, STB listeners? Thank you for tuning in and welcome to another edition of Nickel City Sports Corner. Drew, it's no secret that UB has evolved into a legitimate college football program over the last few years. Coach Lance Leipold and company have done a tremendous job turning the Bulls into a consistent winner and contenders in the MAC. However, the bread and butter of any successful college football program is in their effort to recruit great athletes to play for their school. And if you go back and take a look at the recruiting classes during his tenure, it's easy to see why the Bulls have been as good as they have. Since being hired as head coach, Lance Leipold and his staff have recruited star players like Tyree Jackson, Cam Lewis, KJ Osborne, Khalil Hodge, Anthony Johnson, Kevin Marks, Malcolm Kuntz, and of course, James and Jarrett, the Patterson brothers. And their 2021 class, according to 24/7 Sports, is shaping up to be UB's best recruiting class in the last decade. As of today, it's ranked as 98th out of the top 100 schools in the nation, 7th in the MAC, and the average recruit is rated as low as a 3-star athlete. It's headlined by players like explosive wide receiver Jamari Gassett, defensive lineman Floyd Dozier and Chris King, as well as UB's new set of twins, Keelan and Jalen Howes. The future is certainly bright for UB football, and one has to wonder, can these young Bulls finally help bring the much-coveted MAC championship to Buffalo? I look forward to hearing your thoughts about it, Drew, and I hope our opponents this year are ready to get these horns!
All right, that was my buddy Mark from Nickel City Sports Corner, in our Nickel City Sports Corner for this week, and I'm going to build on some of the things that he said. As he stated, this is shaping up to be one of the best recruiting classes that we have ever had at the University at Buffalo, and the Bulls have become a legitimate program that highly sought-after recruits want to come to. According to 24/7 Sports, there were 15 or 16 out of 17, I believe it's 15 out of 17 recruits this year were 3 stars or higher. UB went from 9 3-star recruits just a year ago to 15 this past recruiting cycle. They went from 131st in recruiting in the nation up to number 98, as mentioned by Mark. And this is all according to 247sports.com. It is a fantastic website for not just football, but basketball as well. Here are the rankings. And on 24/7 Sports, the rankings are essentially out of 100. 1.0 is 100. So think of it like that. The average rating out of 100 for the UB the last season was 79.7989. This season, it jumped all the way to .8216. That goes to show you the level of players that Lance Leipold is attracting by continuously being a force in the MAC. 6 of the 25 highest recruited players ever to come to UB are in the 2021 recruiting class. That in and of itself is absolutely amazing. 12 of the highest 25 recruits to come to UB are on the roster, or are going to be on the roster for the 2021 season. Think about all of the winning that Lance Leipold has done, and think about how many seasons the Bulls have had. You know, we've had some decent teams. Lance Leipold has taken this into a legitimate contender year after year. The Bulls have won the most games in the Mid-American Conference since 2017, and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down, not one bit, at least with Lance Leipold at the helm. I wanted to go over some of the biggest recruits, some of the most sought-after recruits that Lance Leipold and his staff were able to get to come to UB. A lot of these guys have Power 5 offers, and many Power 5 offers. Not just one or two, but multiple Power 5 offers. We're going to start off with Quaylen Housey. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. He is a .8506 three-star recruit. He is listed as an athlete, which means he plays multiple positions. In high school, I believe he played wide receiver and cornerback. He is a very, very gifted athlete. He is 6'1", 180 pounds, and he had 15 offers. Like I stated, multiple Power 5 offers, including offers from Michigan, Missouri, Pitt, Indiana. He came to Buffalo to try to do what the Patterson brothers did, and that is play together at a Division I school. And what better way to do it than to come to a school that is on the rise, that was ranked in the AP Top 25. If you're not going to go to a power school, you might as well go to the next best thing, and that's going to be a team that is continuing to build on its successes season after season. His brother, Jalen Housey, is another fairly good recruit. I'm not going to go over a bunch with him, but he is a three-star recruit, a .8139 recruit, and they are coming here and trying to do what the Patterson brothers did, and that's make names for themselves here at Buffalo. The second best recruit, let me continue with Housey. Housey is a fantastic wide receiver. He is lightning fast. He runs a 4.4 40-yard dash, and he is an absolute playmaker with the ball in his hands. He can be an absolute nightmare with his speed on the outside for UB, and it is going to be very, very fun to see how they use these guys going forward. The second biggest player on this list is going to be Jamari Gassett, wide receiver. He is, I believe, 5'10". He's 170 pounds, but he is another lightning fast wide receiver. He had 20 offers from other schools, other Division I schools, 20 offers. Some of them, or he is a .8482 recruit, three-star recruit. He had offers from 2 other ranked schools, including Coastal Carolina and Liberty. Both of them were ranked inside of the top 20 in the AP polls this past season. He also had offers from schools like UCF, Rutgers, and Boston College. He is, like I said, he is another speedy wide receiver, and he is a very, very dangerous return man. He had 4 house calls his last season, or the last season he played in high school. He is a very, very good return man, lightning quick, and again, another playmaker that they can use on offense to go along with Trevor Wilson and Housey. The third one is going to be a guy on the defensive side. The Bulls have done a fantastic job along the defensive line. They've done a fantastic job again on the defensive line, especially at defensive tackle. Ad Wilson and George Wallow, 2 of the guys that come to mind, defensive tackle position, and they just added another one in Floyd Dozier. He is 6'2", 275 pounds. He is a .8344 three-star recruit. He had 18 offers in the Division I ranks, including Coastal Carolina, Liberty, Cincinnati, FAU, UCF. He is a big, strong kid. He has a nose for the quarterback. He gets to the quarterback, and he is also very stout against the run. He is a strong, strong kid in the middle of that defensive line, and he is only going to benefit by being able to be around guys like George Wallow and Ed Wilson. And lastly, the last guy I want to talk about, who was a highly sought-after recruit for the UB Bulls. All of these kids have 10 or more offers that I'm starting with. Chris King, he is the weak side defensive end. He is 6'3", 235 pounds. Obviously, he's going to get bigger at UB. He is a .8302 three-star recruit. He had 11 offers, including Baylor, Georgia Tech, Miami, not Miami, Ohio, Miami, the U. Also West Virginia, Temple, among others. This kid is another very good piece, and they continue to get pass rushers in here at UB that can solidify their defense. Obviously, they're losing Malcolm Kuntz. I believe Taylor Riggins is probably going to use his extra year of eligibility to come back. So a guy like Chris King can learn from somebody like Taylor Riggins, who is probably going to declare after this next season and has a very good opportunity of going pro himself. These are some of the guys that Lance Leipold is bringing into this program, and it is absolutely stellar. These guys are amazing. These guys are very highly sought-after recruits. And it is simply amazing what Lance Leipold has been able to do. I know if you listen to me at all, I have bitched, I have complained, I have whined on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, Sports Talk Buff 1 on Twitter, I do all of that. Obviously, I'm a very emotional fan. I really get after it. I especially love talking about UB basketball and football. So if you really love UB basketball and football, absolutely give me a follow. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like on the video. Share the video. Let other UB fans know that there are people talking about UB out here. But Lance Leipold is building a legitimate program here in Buffalo, and it is time for Western New York to take notice. It is time for them to step out of the shadow of the Buffalo Bills and be their own thing here in Western New York. They are a great program, not a good program, a great program, and Lance Leipold is taking them to levels that just 5 years ago, nobody would have probably thought possible. He is getting legitimate, highly sought-after recruits to come to UB over Power 5 schools. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about Lance Leipold, I don't know what will. And the Buffalo Bulls need to do whatever it takes to keep Leipold and his staff here in Buffalo, whether that is move conferences, whether that is pay the man. I don't know. You need to keep him here if you want to have a legitimate continue to have a legitimate football program and continue to build off of what he has done here in Buffalo. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you're hearing, tell your friends, tell your family. They can come here on YouTube, follow me, subscribe on YouTube, hit the notification bell, give me a like, give me a thumbs up so that this video gets spread a little bit further so that all the people who love UB Sports can come and watch me. If you're listening to this on audio only, you can hear me on any of the major podcasting websites, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and of course, Anchor. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkBuff1. You can also email me at sportstalkbuffalo@yahoo.com or sportstalkbuffalo@gmail.com. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic week.